What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your old Stars there, and we received some major news last night as North Carolina fired men's basketball coach Hubert Davis after 5 seasons. And unfortunately, y'all, I saw this coming because Hubert Davis's tenure in North Carolina was filled with inconsistency. His first season was a major success as they went on a magical run to the championship as an 8th seed. And although they lost that game, everyone was feeling great about Hubert Davis. You know, a lot of people were saying he was going to be the next elite coach in men's college basketball for years to come because of the tremendous job he did in his first season. I mean, y'all, that was probably one of the best years a first-year head coach has ever had to lead your team to the championship. And it's the fashion in which they did, y'all. Again, they were an 8th seed that year they made to the championship, so it's not like they were, you know, a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or 3 seed. They weren't one of the best teams in men's college basketball this season, but they got hot at the right time, and Hubert Davis did a tremendous job in that tournament to lead them on that great championship run. And again, although they lost that game, everyone was feeling great about his future moving forward. But then unfortunately, y'all, head into this second season, they were not able to sustain their success as they came into the season ranked number 1 in the preseason AP poll, but they ended the season, y'all, not even making it to the NCAA tournament. I mean, it was a massive disappointing season for North Carolina in the 2022-23 season because, again, they were just coming off of making a great run to the championship game, and everyone thought the following season they were going to be the best team in college basketball, and unfortunately that never came to fruition. But at that point, I think people still felt great about Hubert Davis. They just thought, you know, hey, it happens. Sometimes you have a down year, and everyone thought he would bounce back, and that's what they did in the 23-24 season as they won 29 games and made it to the Sweet 16, and everyone started feeling great about Hubert Davis again, y'all. But unfortunately, the last couple of years have just been very inconsistent, as although they won 23 games during the 24-25 season, they won 24 games during the 25-26 season, but y'all, they lost in the first round in back-to-back years. And we know at the University of North Carolina, that is absolutely unacceptable. This is one of the greatest programs in men's college basketball history, a program, y'all, that is accustomed to competing for and winning championships. And unfortunately for Hubert Davis, his first year was his best year. Again, his first year, they went to the championship, but then the following 4 years, y'all, the farthest they made it in the tournament was a Sweet 16. And for some programs, that would be great. Like, making it to the Sweet 16, that's great. And for some programs, just making the tournament is good enough. But again, for a program like UNC that is very storied, that has a rich tradition of winning and winning championships, y'all, that was just not good enough. And I know when you look at his overall record of, you know, 125 and 54, that's a 69.8% win percentage. So on paper, y'all, I mean, his record is tremendous. But again, at UNC, it's about winning championships. At UCLA, at Duke, at Kentucky, those programs are just different, y'all. When you're the head coach of those programs, it is about competing and winning national championships. Not about winning games during the regular season. Not about winning, you know, SEC or ACC tournament championships. No, it is about winning NCAA championships. And again, unfortunately for Hubert Davis, he was not able to do so, y'all. And I think this is what they had to do. I mean, I think it would have really been hard for the fan base or to sell the fan base on the idea of bringing him back for another year, you know, after they just had this major upset loss to VCU in the first round of the tournament. I think it just would have been hard to sell the fan base on the idea of bringing him back. I think Hubert Davis is a solid coach. I think he's going to get a head coaching job again. It's not like he was a horrible coach, y'all, but again, at a program like UNC, man, I mean, the pressure is just, it's different at that type of program, right? You really have to win. You have to win very quickly, because if not, that fan base, the boosters, the alumni, they're going to become very agitated with you. And that's what happened, you know, in the case of Hubert Davis, y'all. So again, think he's a good coach, but it was definitely time for he and UNC to go their separate ways. And now for UNC, y'all, this presents them with an amazing opportunity, because since Dean Smith, they have kept things in the UNC family tree. And what I mean by that is, y'all, since Dean Smith, they had Bill Guthrie, Matt Daughtry, Roy Williams, and Hubert Davis. And what do all of those men have in common, y'all? They were either under the tutelage of the great Dean Smith, or they have ties, they have affiliations with the university. And obviously it worked out in a massive way with Roy Williams, right? They won a couple of national championships. They were one of the best programs in college basketball, but it did not work out, in the case of Hubert Davis. So I think it's time, y'all, for them to look outside of the UNC family tree. I know that they have a strong university, strong men's basketball program, and they love to keep things in the family. They love to keep things in-house, y'all. But sometimes when you do that, when you limit yourself to only people that have, ties or affiliations with your university/program, then you restrict yourself on potentially getting an elite coach. And I don't think they can do this, y'all. I think UNC this time, they have to bring in a coach that can seriously lead them back to the promised land, y'all, winning national championships, definitely advancing past, the Sweet 16 in the tournament. They need a coach that they feel comfortable that can do that, y'all. And there's really two coaches that have my attention for this job. And there's a lot of great coaches out there. You got Dusty May at Michigan. You have Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. But y'all, I don't think it would make a ton of sense for Dusty May or Tommy Lloyd to leave their jobs. I mean, Michigan and Arizona are two of the best jobs in men's college basketball currently. So why in the world would Dusty May and Tommy Lloyd want to leave? I know UNC has the tradition, but right now Michigan and Arizona, their programs are in a much better state than UNC is. But the two coaches, y'all, that have my eye for this coaching job, and one is going to surprise y'all, the other I don't think is much, but we have Nate Oates, head coach of Alabama. I'm a big fan of Nate Oates. I think he's one of the best coaches in men's college basketball. He's a brilliant offensive mind, and I think he could really, energize his fan base, get them excited again, y'all. And you look at his track record, look at how he, he went to Alabama and really built that program into what it is today, built him back into a powerhouse. I definitely think he could do the same for UNC. The question is, would he be ready to leave Alabama, right? He's been there 7 years. He's done a tremendous job there. They've come close to, winning a national championship. They might potentially do it this year as they're in the Sweet 16. So I think that'll be the question. Is Nate Oates ready to take on a different challenge? We don't know, but I definitely think North Carolina should be looking at him. And then, y'all, the second coach, and again, this is going to surprise y'all, but Jay Wright. And I know Jay Wright is retired, but he is one of the great coaches in men's college basketball history. You look at the job that he did at Villanova, y'all, just imagine what he could do at North Carolina. Again, I know he's retired, but I think they should have a lot of interest in Jay Wright because he is one of the best coaches in men's college basketball history, man. So there y'all have it. This is me discussing North Carolina firing men's basketball head coach Hubert Davis after 5 seasons, and why I think it is time for them to look outside the UNC family tree to bring in a great coach that can lead them back to the promised land. Remember, y'all, laughter's good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm an end it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.